Transit, what is up? How we feeling? Yes, yes. Guys, who's excited to be here? Anybody? Anyone? Awesome, there's like 12 people excited. That's good, it's a good start. It's okay, by the end, everybody will be excited to be here. If y'all don't know me, my name's Brendan. I've been here a few times. I love Sundays where I get to hang out in Transit. And one thing that I'm really excited about for Transit is that this weekend, what do we have? Yes, we have Transit weekend this weekend. Who's excited for that? Guys, it's gonna be so much fun, so much fun. I'm so pumped. And if you aren't registered and you want to be there, I need you to tell your small group leader because we are going to find a way to get you to Transit weekend, okay? It's not over, okay? We will get you there. Just let us know. We want to serve you and get you there. It's gonna be so much fun. Okay, I got a question. Oh, also, and remember, there's no Transit next Sunday because of Transit weekend. But I got a question. Is it anybody's first time here today? Anybody's first time? They're bold enough to be like, yeah, it's me. Anybody? What's your name? Priya? Did I say that right? Good deal. That's a cool name. Hey, everybody, can we also say hey to Priya at the same time? All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Priya. Good deal. Priya, do you feel more welcome? Do you feel more welcome? Good. All right, we're all one big family right here. So, one thing that I really want to do is I want to play a game. Does anybody like playing games? Anybody, anybody, anybody? Okay, so I'm gonna need one boy and one girl for this game, okay? And you can't be allergic to eggs. You can't be allergic, you got it, man, you got it. You're up here. All right, and you can't be allergic to eggs. All right, you right there in the back, yes, good deal, awesome. All right, come on up here. What's up, man, how you doing? Good, good, what's your name?
Ian.
Everybody say, what's up, Ian? Ian, what grade are you in?
8th grade.
8th grade, where are my 8th graders at? Woo, there's no 8th graders here today. Where are my 8th graders at? Okay, they're all right here. All right here. That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Hey, how are you? That's so good. That's so good. What's your name?
Maddie.
All right, everybody say, hey, Maddie. Hey, Maddie, what grade are you in?
6.
She's in 6th grade. Where are my 6th graders at? Yes, yes. Good stuff, man. Gotta love it. Are y'all excited? Yeah, are y'all nervous at all?
What?
You nervous at all? Okay, don't be nervous. It's a really messy game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, are you ready? You ready? Okay, so what's gonna happen, guys? We're gonna play egg roulette. All right, because this week we're talking all about cracking under pressure. So we're gonna play egg roulette. Does anybody know how that works? Anybody, anybody? Cool, we got one person. I'm gonna tell you how it works. So what's gonna happen, guys, is I have this lovely case of eggs. Y'all can go and step closer. All right, in this case of eggs, 8 of them are hard-boiled and 4 of them are raw. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that you're gonna go first, okay? You're gonna pick up an egg, and you're gonna smash it on your forehead, okay? So you probably want to throw your hat to your smart leader. Okay, so you're gonna smash it on your head, okay? And then you're gonna do it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the first person to crush 2 raw eggs on their head loses. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, you're probably gonna wanna put your hair in a hair tie if you have one. If you don't have one, it'll be okay. Okay, cool, sweet, we're good. All right, so, but I need all of the boys to cheer for him right here. Okay, so boys, let me practice round. Okay, okay, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. All right, and I need all the girls to cheer for her. All right, one more time, one more time. Okay, good, good, good. We're getting in it, we're getting in it. It's good stuff. All right, are you ready? Are you nervous? Okay, are you ready? Are you nervous? Awesome, sweet, this is gonna be so much fun. So, you get the first egg, all right? So pick wisely. You sure you wanna pick that one? Yeah. All right, how do you feel about it? Feel good? All right, 3, 2, 1, smash it. Woo! Starting off strong right off the bat. Did y'all see that? Give it up for him. All right, let's get you a wipe too. That way it doesn't get in your eyes. All right, there you go. All right, your turn. You ready? Guys, there's so much just stuff right here. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh! 2 raw right off the bat. Holy crap, guys. This is awesome. Okay, so it's all tied up. It's all tied up. Y'all cheer them on. All right, you ready? You got next. What you got? What you got? Oh my gosh, that happened so fast. So fast. Well, it looks like you're the winner. Everybody give it up for her right here. Yes, did a great job. And sir, your prize is gonna be a whole pack of wipes. And you just get to take this with you, okay? Here's a couple more for you. Awesome. And there you go. You enjoy that. Happy Sunday. And you get a lovely Chick-fil-A gift card right there, right for you. It's the Jesus Chicken, man. And if you want to go backstage right there down those steps, somebody will give you some more wipes. That's on a table. All right, but if you feel good, you're good. All right, awesome. She's good. All right, guys, well, was that a fun game? Okay, it wasn't a fun game. Was that a fun game? Awesome, awesome. Well, guys, that is nothing compared to what the games are going to be like this weekend at Transit Weekend. And that is such an important game because they were cracking under pressure, and all of us have cracked under pressure. And that's what we're going to talk about today with Sammer. But before we do that, we're going to sing with Caleb and the band. So y'all go ahead and stand up and get ready to worship.
Transit, we doing all right? Maybe? No? All right, let's worship. Come on, hands up. Ready? May praise be within that silence is the enemy. Let praise be within that conquers all anxiety. Let it rise. Let praise arise. of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear evil. Fix your eyes on this one true. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Oh, oh, oh. Say, Jesus, Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in His blood. Always singing about Jesus, Light of heaven, friend forever. His kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear evil. Fix your eyes on this one true. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Never will our help comes from. Oh, heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. Creation, everything with breath, repeat this sound. His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good praise, good God. His name is Jesus. So swing wide, open heaven, let the praise go up as the walls come down. Creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound of His children. Clean hands, pure hearts, good praise, good God. His name is Jesus. Swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. Let's pray. God, thank you for another Sunday morning with these crazy people in transit, especially this girls group to my left. I don't know who they are, but they were going wild. God, thank you for another morning where my voice just works and have the privilege to lead these kids. Thank you for another morning where these students, they ain't kids, they're students, where these students lean in and just have fun. Regardless of what's going on, just have fun. Allow the fun to continue as Sammer comes up and talks to us. Please give us ears to hear what he has to say and give us the wisdom to carry out what he teaches us throughout this week. Thank you for another morning. Pray this in your name. Amen. Y'all can take a seat.
Good morning, Transit. How are we doing? 11 o'clock. Great to see you. Great to see you. Hey, so great to have you guys here. Week 2 of Guys and Girls back together. That's really awesome. Hey, thanks for being so flexible with us during the craziness of everything that's going on. And thanks for continuing to make Transit possible. My name is Sammer. If we've never met, I get to lead our college ministry called The Living Room here at Woodstock City. We get to hang out in Transit all the time. Speaking of hanging out with Transit, anybody going to be a part of Transit weekend? What is it? Is that right? This weekend, right? Literally, it's coming up in 5 days. And so that's going to be a blast. Super, super pumped. There's people in the balcony. I honestly have no idea why there's people in the balcony, but I just want to say hi. Hi, what are y'all doing? Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a dumb question. Oh, small group. Is it small groups up there? Are y'all small groups? Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because we're sitting in our groups. It's great to see you guys. I didn't know if it was parents. I needed to be in my best behavior, but it's not. So here we go. But hey, it's good to be with you guys. We are in part 2 of a series that we kicked off last week with Kate called Cracking Under Pressure. Cracking Under Pressure. And the whole idea of the series is that we all experience things in life that create stress. We all experience things in our lives that create worry, that create pressure. And what we're talking about, what does it look like to navigate life through it? In middle school, really in so many ways, at least this was true in my life, I would imagine maybe it was true for you as well. It's really the first time I started feeling a significant amount of pressure and stress in my life. Elementary school it was okay, right? But middle school for me was really the first time I actually started to care about the clothes that I wore. It was the first time I really started to care about the shoes that I wore, about the way that I looked. It was the first time I really started to feel the pressure of, hey, you need to start making good grades. It was the first time I started playing travel soccer, and so I felt like this pressure of, hey, I've got to be successful here. If I want to play high school soccer, I just felt a lot more pressure, a lot more stress. There was more drama with my friends. There was a lot more going on in middle school than any other point in my life leading up. But here's what I want to tell you this morning is you know the stress you feel, you know the pressure you feel, you know the things that you have going on in your world that are difficult to carry. But here's what I'm here to tell you this morning. That never goes away. You'll never have a time in your life where there are not things in your life that create stress or pressure for you. In fact, it just changes. And all the leaders in the room are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. We all, even as adults, still feel stress and pressure around certain things in our lives. It just looks different than it did in middle school. Like for me now, I'm not so much worried about I don't really care if you think what I'm wearing is cool, but do y'all like what I'm wearing? But I've got kids, man. I worry about taking care of my kids. That's a different kind of pressure, you know? I'm not worried about, I don't know, what kind of shoe. Well, no, that's not true. I still care a lot about my shoes. Bad example. But I got bills to worry about, and I've got money to worry about, and I've got I've got a front yard to make sure looks really, really good. There's a different type of pressure. I've got a job that there are people on my team and at this church that depend on me to do my job well and to show up every week. It's a different kind of pressure. I got to make sure we've got enough food and diapers for the babies because I got to take care of my kids. It's a different type of pressure. Work pressure, life pressure. When the car breaks down, I got to figure out what's going on kind of pressure, right? And so here's what I'm here to tell you is that there will never be a time in your life where there are not things that cause stress and pressure. It's not like, cool, I'm gonna get to high school, I'll be good. I'll get to college, I'll be good. Oh, finally, when there's nobody telling me what to do anymore and I'm doing my own thing, I'll be okay, no stress, no pressure. That will not exist ever. However, today is not about how to make stress and pressure disappear, because that cannot and will not fully happen in the way that we would want it to. What I want to talk about for a few minutes is changing the way we walk when we experience pressure and stress. That even though we can't make it disappear, we can change the way that we deal with it. And if I had to guess, and I know this is true for me, is that our default when it comes to the things that make us feel stress and pressure, and whenever we're feeling things going on in our world and they're not as they should be, for most of us, the way that we default to handling stress and pressure and things that we have to worry about in our lives, our default is to try to deal with them alone. Our default is to try to handle them all by ourselves, to not let anybody else in on it, to not let anyone else know what's going on. Our default is to say, hey, I'm going to deal with this all on my own. We try to deal with it alone. No one in here likes feeling stressed. Nobody in here likes feeling worried. But do you know what's worse than feeling stressed? Do you know what's worse than feeling pressure? Feeling stressed alone. Feeling pressure alone. Feeling like your world is falling apart alone. Feeling like nothing is working out the way that you want it to alone. There is nothing worse, isn't this so true? There is not much worse in life than feeling alone, especially when things in your world are not going the way that you want it to, when there's drama and there's difficulty at home, when your parents are talking about divorce, when things at school aren't going the way that you want them to, when you're not able to live up to the expectations of the people around you and you feel like you're failing constantly, when there's drama with a friend that you've been friends with for so long you can't imagine life without them and now it feels like everything is falling apart, when life isn't working out the way that you want it to, when you feel like you can't get it all together. All that is bad. It's multiplied by 1,000,000 when we try to just do it all by ourselves, when we try to just walk through it alone. And there's a bunch of reasons why we might try to just walk through this alone. We suppress it because maybe we're embarrassed to let people in. Maybe the idea of being vulnerable about what is really going on in our lives is so stressful because we don't want anyone to think that we don't have it all together. We don't want anybody to think that we're struggling. In a world on social media where we're showing everybody how good we look, how funny we are, how nice everything is, but we want to hide everything else, it's terrifying to let somebody in and see, oh, wow, this isn't as good as what your feed makes it look. Maybe for some of you, we're just embarrassed. Embarrassed to let somebody know that that is something you're struggling with. Embarrassed to let somebody see what's actually going on with your family. Maybe you're just scared to deal with it. And so what we do is we just suppress it, we ignore it, we think we can handle it by ourselves, and we just hope that it will go away. And we isolate ourselves. And ultimately, whenever we begin to isolate ourselves, here's what we also start to believe, and I guarantee you've probably felt this at one point or another: I'm the only one. That when we isolate ourselves, I'm not gonna let anybody in, I'm not gonna let anybody know the pressure I'm feeling, the stress I'm feeling, the difficulty I'm working through, the worry that I'm feeling, we start to think, well, maybe I'm the only one feeling it. I'm the only one struggling with that. I'm the only one failing there. I'm the only one with the family that's having a hard time. I'm the only one that doesn't have it all together. And we start to think all my friends are stronger, all my friends are better, all my friends are smarter, all my friends are more well off, all my friends are healthier, all my friends are more spiritually mature than me. And we isolate ourselves further and further and further. And we start to believe that I am the only one. Here's what you need to understand today is you are not the only one. Because every single one of us, myself included, leaders included, will always live in this world and have things where we experience stress and pressure and difficulty and worry. You are not the only one. You feel like you're the only one because you're not letting people in. You feel like you're the only one because you're thinking, well, there's no way anybody will be able to help me walk through this, but you are not the only one. In fact, God created you and me so that it would be impossible to walk through life by ourselves. Did you hear that? God created us in a way to where it would be impossible for you and for me. I'm a professional Christian, y'all. To walk through life by ourselves. God created you and me to share the weight and the pressure and the stress that we feel in this world with others. It's exactly why the Apostle Paul writes this in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. He said, carry each other's burdens. It's a command. It's not a suggestion. It's not like, hey, if you got nothing else going on today, here's something to think about. Hey, if you've got a little extra time after you finish your homework. No. He says this is a command. If you call yourself a Jesus follower, there's no negotiation. Carry each other's burdens. And in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. What is the law of Christ? Really, really simple. The law of Christ is what Jesus told his disciples in John 13, verse 34. Love each other, he said, as I have loved you. Love each other as I have. This is a new command I give you. Love each other as I have loved you. That is the law of Christ, to love each other as Jesus loved us. This is one of the most compelling things I think about our faith if you're not a Jesus follower, that Christianity is not all about looking out for number one. Christianity is all about, okay, I've got to love my neighbor. I've got to love my friend. I've got to love my brother. I've got to love my sister. And Paul says the way to fulfill the law of Christ, the way to love others as Jesus had loved us well, is to carry each other's burdens. Paul understood that there was no way we could carry the burdens of this life alone, the stress of this life alone. And so there's kind of two parts to this equation, carry each other's burdens. On one side, you've got to be willing and ready to step up and carry people's burdens. What does that look like? It's not terribly complicated, y'all. It certainly doesn't mean you got to have all the answers or know exactly what to say. Sometimes carrying each other's burdens means I'm just going to sit here with you because this is really difficult. I'm gonna remind you that you're not alone. I'm gonna send you a text just to check in and see how you're doing. I'm gonna give you a hug. Yeah, even you too, fellas. It means I'm just gonna sit there and let you vent. I'm gonna sit there and let you be upset, and I'm gonna be there to love you when you're done. So there's one side where we've gotta be available to each other to do that. But then you know what the other side is? We've gotta let people know what burdens we're carrying. Because nobody can help you carry a burden that they don't know exists. It would be like me getting mad at one of my friends for not helping me move, and they had no idea I was moving. I had to carry all this furniture by myself. You're a terrible friend. It's like, man, I thought you still lived in Florida. You know, it's like, you can't help someone carry a burden that they don't know exists. So on one side, we have to start making ourselves available to love and to be with and to hug on and to speak encouragement into. Sometimes, isn't it so true? Just knowing that you're not alone in the fight makes the burden lighter. Even if you don't know the answer, but then we've also got to let people in. We've got to start being honest about where we are. We've got to start being open and transparent about where we are. And come on, can I let you in on a little secret? Did you know that this is why we do small groups? Yeah, you thought, I'm kidding. You are smart. Y'all thought we only did small groups because we didn't know what else to do with y'all after the message and we're just waiting for the adults to get out? The reason we do this is because we know and because we've experienced and because we live with our lives, we know that there is no way to navigate life alone. And so you have an opportunity. What's so cool? God created the church, like the Big C church, in Woodstock City Church, so that we could walk through life with other people. I just wonder what it might look like if you started living that way with the people right here in your group. You started carrying each other's burdens. You started being open about the things that you are walking through and struggling with, knowing you had a group of people around you that were gonna help you carry the weight. Because when pressure grows, don't hesitate to share the weight. When the pressure grows, don't hesitate to share the weight. We've literally given you these group opportunities to share the weight. And do you know what happens when you share the weight? The weight gets lighter. I got a balloon here. I'm gonna blow it up and I'm gonna fold it into a dog. I'm kidding. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can do this. I went 2 for 2 at the 9. Crushed it. Okay. So balloon. What happens when I take this to the balloon? Any ideas? You're real smart. What do you think? Pop? It's gonna pop. You know it, bro. You know it. You know it. It's gonna pop. I take this, one little screw, and it's gonna pop. Yeah, I didn't give y'all a warning. That scared you, didn't it? Be honest. It did scare you a little bit. So one little screw here, and it's gonna pop. But let's try this again for just a second, okay? I'm gonna blow this one more time. Now, do you know what happens when you share the weight? My man, come here. I want you to touch this. I want you to touch that nail. Is that real? Touch it. Touch it. Is that real? Yeah, if I threw that at someone's face, I'd go to jail, okay? This is real, okay? Do you know what happens when you're not carrying the weight alone? Do you know what happens when you share the weight with other people? When the weight gets distributed, when it's not just one person carrying the weight, the pressure isn't too much to carry. No, the balloon doesn't pop. When you're not navigating life alone, it's a lot less likely that your life or your faith or your time in middle school will unravel. When you're not navigating your parents' divorce alone, when you're not navigating the stress that you feel living up to the expectations of other people alone, when you distribute that pressure, when you carry each other's burdens, when you're living life in community, when you're being honest, when you're being transparent, when you're being real about the sin that you're struggling with, when you're being real about the way that you're struggling emotionally, when you share the weight, the pressure never gets too much because you've distributed it. And it's not just one person. This is how God created you and I to live. And your life is going to look like this if you try to do it alone. That's why God said, no. I want you to walk through life whole. Yeah, there's gonna be some bumps and bruises along the way, and it's not gonna be perfect. But when you live life in community with other people, when you don't hesitate to share the weight, your life is going to look radically different. So let's stop trying to walk alone and let's start understanding the power of what God created when he said, I'm gonna make you for community and I'm gonna command you to carry each other's burdens. When the pressure grows, don't hesitate to carry the weight because your future self will be really, really glad that you did. As you guys head to group, I want you to think about this question. People who know that you're stressed, or people who know you're stressed when you blank. People that know you're stressed when you blank. Think about that as you guys head to group, and we'll see you guys at Transit Weekend in 5 days. Love you guys. You're dismissed with small group.